إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه أما بعد. Then inshallah ta'ala, this doesn't have to be any longer than necessary bi'idhnillah. And I want to start out by saying that this discussion may be a little late regarding the Badr club, which was started by some brothers in the UAE that are from Britain or wherever else they're from. And it may be a little late, and that's because the registration is over with. And I've seen that they've put out clarifications and talks about their backbiting and trying to clarify themselves. However, they themselves have been trying to clarify what they're doing. And this religion is not left to ourselves. Rather, in this matter, they should have returned to the scholars to see if what they're doing is permissible or not, to give them some direction in how to organize this, how to call their club, what should they use as their slogan, and so on. And so it seems that they did not do that, not as far as I have seen. I put a public challenge out there for anyone to show a scholar, or for them to show one scholar who supports them in this call, and none was received. Anyway, as we said, it may be a little bit late since the registration is over, and it seems that the talk about them has died since the registration is over. The question, for those who are not aware, will clarify bi'idhnillah the issue at hand, inshallah. And even though this is late, or could be late, it's not too late for the next group or the next people who want to organize something similar to this. And it's not too late for those people who may have registered to ask for their money back. Allah knows best will they give it back or not, but it's not too late for them to ask for their money back. So let's just jump right into the question, inshallah ta'ala. The same question was asked to all of the mashayikh who are going to quote here, inshallah ta'ala. Some of the answers were given to us in text form, and some of them were given to us in audio form. So we're going to go through and we're going to translate. The question is, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أحسن الله إليكم وبارك فيكم. بدأ بعض الإخوة ناديا يسمى نادي البدر. After giving salams to the sheikh and asking Allah to do good towards him and to bless him, it says, some of the brothers have began or started a club calling it the Badr Club. يقبلون 13 و300 شخصا فقط. They only accept 313 members. موافقا لعدد الصحابة الذين شاركوا في غزوة البدر الكبرى. In agreement or in conformity with the number of companions who participated in the major battle of Badr. والتسجيل مفتوح ل13 و300 ساعة, and the registration is only open for 313 hours. والرسوم 13 و300 جنيه بريطاني, and the cost or the fees for this club are 313 British pounds. على أن يحصل الذي التحق به على 7 محاضرات, and those who register are allowed to join, then they will get 7 lectures. سميت كل واحدة منها بعملية عسكرية. Every one of them is called an operation, like a military operation. Operation closeness to Allah, Operation Second Wife, Operation Six Figures, like this. And you can go to their website to see what those operations were. Each of those 7 lectures were called Operation something. سميت كل واحدة منها بعملية عسكرية, والذي يسجل مسموح بالدخول برنامج تواصل اجتماعي يسمى التليجرام خاص بأعضاء النادي. And also those who join up will have a private group amongst themselves. Could be on Telegram. Here it says on Telegram, could be other than that. They have a private group amongst themselves where they'll be able to cooperate with one another. Those 313 people, along with the organizers. وقاموا بعنوان تلك عملية العسكرية المحاضرات بالتالي. And the titles of the operations of those 7 lectures are as follows. الأولى هي مقدمة عن النادي. The first one is a introduction to what the club is. الثانية عن الصلة مع الله. The second one is the silati, the connection with Allah Azza wa Jal, how you can become stronger connected to Allah. الثالثة عن المال. The third lecture is about mal. كيف أحصل على راتب 300 ألف ريال سنويا. How can a person get 430,000 riyals each year, which is 6 figures, $100,000, right? Or 100,000 pounds, since they're doing things in Britain, which is about $115,000 a year. How can I get my money up to that much per year? الرابعة في كيف تتزوج بالثانية. The second one, Operation Second Wife. How can I get a second wife? Or if you don't have a first wife, how can you get a good first wife? الخامسة عن الصحة والرياضة. The fifth one was regarding Operation Health or body or exercise or something like this, dealing with your health and your physical conditioning. السادسة عن الصحة النفسية. كيف لا تحزن وكيف تتعامل مع الآخرين بثقة. The 6th lecture was vague, and it was about the mental state of a person. How can they not be sad, and how can they cooperate with others with confidence and so on? Maybe giving Allahu Alam, maybe giving advice on how to talk in front of people and others. والمحاضرة الأخيرة نصيحة فيما بعد. And the last lecture was advice for what comes after. علما بأن القائمين على النادي هم من بعض الدعاة المهاجرين من الغرب إلى بلد الخليج. Know that those who are responsible for establishing this club, they are some of those scholars who made hijrah from the west to the lands of the Khalij, the lands of the Arabs. قاموا بالتسجيل مقطع مرئي شجعوا فيه الشباب على الالتحاق بناديهم. And so they made a video in order to encourage the youth, the young men, to enroll in their club. وفي المقطع يبدأون في المسجد. In the video they begin in the masjid, ثم قاعة الرياضة, and then they go to the gym. ثم يذهبون إلى العمل في سيارة فخمة جدا, a Lamborghini. And then then they go to work, and inside of that they have a Lamborghini, as if that's what they drove to work or something like that. ثم يذهبون إلى العمل في ثم يجتمعون بالليل في المطعم يأكلون فيه من كل ما لذ والطاب من أحسن الطعام. And then in the evening time, they meet together at a restaurant and they're eating the best of the food and the most delicious of, food. وشعارهم, and their slogan is the ayah, the ayah, وَلَقَدْ نَصَرَكُمُ اللَّهُ بِبَدْرٍ وَأَنْتُمْ أَذِلَّةٌ. And Allah has helped, indeed Allah helped you in the battle of Badr, and you were the smaller group. From Surah Ali Imran, ayat number 123. وَالسُّؤَال, and here's the question that we asked after explaining this. هل يجوز إنشاء ناديا بمثل هذا الاسم وهذا الشعار وهل تنصحون بالالتحاق به؟ The question is it permissible to open up clubs with this type of name and with this type of slogan? And do you recommend or advise people to join these types of groups? أفيدنا بارك الله فيكم. Bless us or benefit us with knowledge of this issue. May Allah bless you. So this is the question that was asked to all of the mashayikh. Here we can see, I'll go through this list: Sheikh Abdullah ibn Adam al-Albani, Sheikh Abu Salah Muhammad Hisham Tahiri, Sheikh Hamid al-Hajri, Sheikh Khalid al-Qahtani, Sheikh Faisal al-Jassim, and Sheikh Fahd al-Fuhaid. And inshallah ta'ala, we're going to save the best one from last. It was forwarded to me because the brother Muhammad Sa'ad al-Shab'an was able to ask the question. Inshallah ta'ala, at the end of it, we'll tell you who it is. So this question was asked to Muhammad Hisham Tahiri, Sheikh Abu Salah, who is an Afghani sheikh here in Kuwait, been here for most of his life. He's a graduate from the University of Medina with his doctoral degrees in Imam and Khatib here, and he works in the Wizaratul Awqaf in the section dealing with the Mawsu'a of Fiqh and Usul al-Fiqh. He said, Bid'atun fi bid'in. That was his answer. And as you will see, inshallah ta'ala, some of these answers will give us some clarity about how much time we should spend on it. Like this one for here, example, he didn't spend much time on it. He just said bid'atun fi bid'in. It's an innovation upon innovations, meaning it's an innovation and its foundations is innovation. Simple. But I know many people may not be happy with that type of answer. And so this is why we asked a number of mashayikh, and this is why we wanted answers for more, because some are just going to be brief like this, and some are going to give details, as we will see. The next sheikh, the same question, as we can see here, same question. He says, Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, la yajuz. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, la yajuz. Not permissible. It's not permissible to establish these types of organizations, nor is it permissible to join them. We're going to go, inshallah ta'ala, with the quick ones, and then we'll go with the audios at the end. This is who some of those brothers might be familiar. Sheikh Faisal Qazar al-Jassim, speaks English, visits the UK quite often. He said, Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. هذا فيه إسفاف وعبث والجهل فلا أنسه بالاشتراك معهم. He says here that in this is a triviality and playing around in ignorance and a waste of time, and I do not advise with cooperating with them. I do not advise with cooperating with them. Again, we can see from these three answers how much time we should have spent on them in the beginning. But these people have amassed, if they take it, $100,000, $113,000, 97,000 plus pounds, 113 or some $1,000 just from registration for 7 meetings. Someone might say, but it's a coaching club. But you use the name of the people of Badr. You use the Sahaba as your goal. You no longer can just claim that this is a car washing place and all we're doing is doing something from the dunya. No, we're not washing cars. We're using the Sahaba. We're using the Battle of Badr. We're using ayat from the Quran. can no longer claim that it's not da'wah, it's just coaching. When you start, then have a coaching session, have a coaching name, but do not put Islam and do not put an ayah and do not compare yourself, as we will see from other answers from the mashayikh. If anyone puts anything in the chat, then inshallah I can see it if they have any questions. But that's the question that we posed, and it was fair. Again, Sheikh Fahd al-Fuhayd. Sheikh Fahd al-Fuhayd is in Riyadh, teaches at the Islamic University, Muhammad ibn Saud. Same question was asked. We'll review the question, just without Arabic. Some brothers began a club called it the Badr Club. They accept 313 members only, in agreement with the number of the Sahabi who participated in the Great Battle of Badr. The registration is open for 313 hours. The cost for joining is 313 British pounds. And the one who joins gets 7 lectures, right? And each lecture is called an operation, right? Like a military operation. And the one who enters the group also is allowed to be part of another group, which they can cooperate with one another and share their ideas and benefit from one another and review what they learn in the group and so on, right? And the lectures, these operations are entitled as follows. The first of them is the introduction to the club. The second one is a connection with Allah. The third one is about money. How do I get 6 figures in a year, over 100,000 pounds in a year, or 430,000 Saudi riyals? Fourthly, how do I take a second wife? Operation second wife. Fifthly, operation, don't remember what they called it, but regarding health and physical activity, getting yourself in good physical shape. The sixth one was regarding mental health and how to not be sad and how to cooperate with others with confidence, maybe how to be a better public speaker or something like this. And the seventh lecture was what do we do moving forward, or what do we do after this? Knowing that those who established this club, they're some of the callers from the West who made hijrah to the lands of the Khalij, the Gulf countries. They made a video recording encouraging the young men to join their club, and in it they begin in the masjid, then they go to the gym, and then they go to work. And in work there's in some of their videos they have like Lamborghinis and stuff like this, and then they get together at night in a restaurant eating the best of foods. And their slogan on their channel, on their webpage, is indeed Allah has helped you in Badr when you were the smaller group. The question is it permissible to establish these types of clubs with this type of name and with this type of slogan? And do you advise us to join them, right? Benefit us. May Allah bless you. Sheikh Fahd al-Fuhayd, he says here, and I'm going to play the clip and then stop and play and translate like this, inshallah.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. حياك الله يا أبا معاوية. ذكرت في سؤالك أن بعض الإخوة وضعوا نادي يسمى نادي البدر، ويقبلون 313 شخصا لعدد موافق لعدد الصحابة، و313 ساعة مدة التسجيل فيه، والرسوم 313 جنيه بريطاني، ويدخلون 7 محاضرات بأسماء عمليات عسكرية، وعندهم برنامج تواصل خاص لا يدخلون فيه إلا مسجل، ويضعون عناوين، وقائمين على النادي مهاجرين من الغرب إلى البلد الخليجي، يشجعوا بالالتحاق بهذا النادي ويركبون سيارات فخمة إلى آخره.
All the Sheikh did was just summarize my question so that anyone who might hear the answer, if they didn't have access to the question, they would know what the question was about.
يقبلون شعارهم ولقد نصركم الله ببدر وأنتم. هل يجوز إنشاء نادي؟ الجواب لا يجوز إنشاء هذا النادي.
He says the answer is it's not permissible to establish this club.
ولا ننصح بالالتحاق به، بل نحذر جميع المسلمين من
and it's not permissible to join them. Not permissible to establish, it's not permissible to join him, and we warn all the Muslims from it, from these actions. He says, if I go back, this is i'tidaa fi dinillah. This is transgression. This is violation and attacking the religion of Allah.
ولا ننصح بالإلحاق به بل نحذر جميع المسلمين من مثل هذه الأعمال وهذا من الابتداع في دين الله عز وجل وأيضا فيه التهوين من غزوة بدر والتهكم وأيضا التنقص لما قام به الصحابة بمثل هذه التصرفات وإن كان.
He says that this is an attack on and a violation, a transgression against the religion of Islam, and is a belittlement and speaking with whims, without reasons and principles, and belittling and diminishing the status of the companions who participated in the Battle of Badr by using these names and these numbers. Even if they didn't mean to do this outright, even if they didn't mean to belittle them, even if they didn't mean to attack Islam, then this is what it did, even if they did not mean to do so. And this is also an issue of calling things by other than their real names. What does this club have to do with the Battle of Badr? Nothing.
التحديدات هذه 313 شخص 313 ساعة 313 جنيه بزعم موافقا على عدد الصحابة هذا أمر ليس مقصود شرعا.
He said this limiting of 313 people, 313 hours for registration, 313 British, these numbers, this type of thing is something which is not sought after in Islamic legislation.
أن نوافق عدد الذين غزوا في غزوة بدر هل نوافق عدد الذين غزوا في أحد وفي.
So what about those people who how many people participated in Uhud or other battles? And this is something that we fear, that they stopped at 313 and they're going to need another scam later on to get more money from the people. So the next one is the Uhud Club. How many people are in Uhud? 1,000. So if I get 1,000 people at $1,000, $1 million. Now I can have a lecture about the 9-figure club. SubhanAllah. Or whatever it is. 7-figure club. You're saying, wow, what about these people's numbers? Are they not important, basically?
There's
no reason that we attach ourselves to these types of numbers, 313, 1,000, or 50,000, or 50, or 20. No need for that.
ثالثا يعني يلاحظ أنهم يجعلون مجموعة سرية وخاصة لا يدخلون إلا من وافقهم على هذا وهذا أيضا من الأشياء المحرمة في الشرع.
He also says this private group that you have, especially when you're attaching to Islam, this private group you have, this is something that's not permissible Islamically, to have a private group that only those people who join can benefit from it, nobody else. There is no privateness, there is no secretness when it comes to the da'wah and the religions, the matters of the religion. Those people say it's not religious. Then why is it called the Battle of Badr? It's not religious. It's just a coaching club. Then why is it 313? Why is there an ayat used as the slogan? If it's not religious, then don't use these things. But it is religious. They're monopolizing on the religion, inshallah. Our deen is clear and announced to the people. We don't have anything private and secret from others. We ask Allah for them, us and them, guidance and to return back from these frivolous actions. And do not make their the word is escaping my mind. Do not make their goals and the thing that they're worried about, this life. And with Allah's success, and may the salat and salam be upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Same question to Sheikh Khalid Qahtani, who is a graduate from the University of Medina, master's degree in Imam and Khatib here in Kuwait. Same question, no need to review. He says,
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. حياك الله يا أبا معاوية. يا مرحبا، أهلا وسهلا، بارك الله فيك. أبدا لا أنصح بالدخول في مثل هذا النادي.
He said, never do I advise people to go into a club like this.
لا أنصح به.
I don't
هذا
advise
النادي
it.
الذي يبدو أنه وراءه أمور أخرى.
It seems that there's behind this club other things, other motivating factors behind this club.
ويخشى أن تؤول أموره إلى أمور خطيرة.
And it's feared that it will elevate into more dangerous or to dangerous matters, things that could enter into dangerous things. Some bid'ah, this is how bid'ah starts, something small and it becomes big.
ثم ما الفائدة
So what's the
من
benefit
تسميتهم للنادي بهذا الاسم؟
to name their club with this name? Why what's the benefit in using Badr?
ولماذا جعلوا الأيام والساعات؟
And why they make this amount of time and days and members like this? Why 313?
ثم إن هذه المحاضرات ليست يعني الذي يظهر أن يعني أنها غامضة.
And these lectures they're going to give, they're not clear what they're going to be talking about. They're not clear what they're going to be doing, right? What's the outcome or what it is?
وغير واضح.
It's not clear. It's ambiguous.
ثم هذا البذخ الذي يصنعونه، حقيقة هؤلاء
In this club that they're establishing, the reality is these people,
مريب فعلهم.
they're doubtful. Their actions are doubtful.
فعلهم مريب.
Their action is doubtful.
فلا أنصح بالدخول فيه.
I don't advise people to enter into it,
ولا الإعلان عنه.
nor to spread the poster or whatever about it. Don't share it.
ولا دعوة الناس إليه.
And do not call the people to it.
أسأل الله أن يحفظنا وإياكم.
Ask Allah to preserve us and you. Right? It's clear, inshallah ta'ala. Next, I'm going to go to Sheikh Abdullah ibn Adam al-Albani. And a second. So I can, the Sheikh's speech is very rough. He's from Syria. He's Albanian. This is the nephew of Sheikh Muhammad Nasir al-Din al-Albani here in Kuwait. He's a spitting image of the Sheikh. But he's getting old and he's been a little sick recently and his speech is hard to understand. So here we go. Same question as we can see. Same question was asked right here to him. And he says here.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يا شيخ معاوية، اليوم بهذه الأيام نبني الشباب الجيل الصاعد، كل واحد بده يعني يجعل له بصمة في مجال الدعوة الإسلامية تميزه عن الآخرين.
He says, today the youth, every person in the field of dawah wants to do something regarding his dawah, regarding his call, which distinguishes him from others.
فيلجأ إلى أمثال هذه الابتداعات التي ما أنزل الله بها سلطان.
So they come with and they resort to the likes of these innovations that Allah has not revealed any authority for.
أن هؤلاء من الأجانب الذين أسلموا ويعيشون في دول الخليج العربي.
These people are not Arabs. They've accepted Islam or they recently became religious and they live in the Khalij, the Gulf countries.
هم الذين صنعوا هذه البدعة نعم في موضوع التجمع البدري.
They are the ones who established this innovation. And this is what we're saying. This is my speech now. The Sheikh said they're the ones who established this innovation regarding the Badr, and they're calling this battle of Badr. And this is what I said. They don't have any scholar. They live in a land where there is Sheikh Muhammad al-Ghayth, there is Abdulaziz al-Anasi, and there are others who I didn't mention just now. Their names escape my mind. Why do they not have them? They're from UK. They know Sheikh Faisal al-Jassim, and they know other than them. How come they don't have? They've come to Kuwait before. They've had clips on coming to Kuwait and sit with the Mashayikh here in Kuwait with Sheikh Hamid al-Hajri, Sheikh Salim al-Tawil, Sheikh Falah, and other than them. How come they didn't ask these scholars, for those who are alive, Sheikh Falah, rahimahullah ta'ala? How come they didn't ask them? How come they don't have them calling them? How come they have to have a Lamborghini calling? So they're the ones who innovated this, what they call the club, the Badr club.
وما بيقبلوا فيه 313 عضو، وبعدين لازم يكون كمان المجال مفتوح ضمن خلال 313 ساعة، وفي بعض فقرات طبعا الدين الإسلام لا يوافق عليها.
So he went through the question, you know, there are 313 people, 313 hours like this, right? You can only, you know, register for these hours. And there are other points that are related that the religion of Islam doesn't agree with. Other things mentioned in the question that this religion of Islam doesn't agree with.
مثل إنه كيف بدك أنت تجعل دخلك السنوي 413,000 ريال.
Like making 430,000 riyals in a year. He said 413, but 430, right? Like making 100,000 pounds in a year, right?
لا.
He said no.
الله النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام يقول ما طلعت شمس يوم قط إلا بعث الله بجنبتيها ملكان يقولان يا أيها الناس أنيبوا إلى ربكم فإنما قل وكفى خير مما كثر وألهى.
He said the Prophet ﷺ, he said, in contradiction to this, trying to get 6 figures a year, right? He said the Prophet ﷺ said the sun has never risen on any day except that Allah has sent on its 2 sides 2 angels that say, O people, repent to your Lord, for indeed what is little but sufficient is better than that which is abundant and distracts you.
فهؤلاء لا عم يبحث عن طرق تؤدي بهم إلى الحصول على ذلك المبلغ الكبير.
He said, so these people are searching these paths that will lead to them a large amount yearly.
سنة. هذا الخلاف طبعا ما سطره الله سبحانه.
And this is in opposition or in contradiction to what Allah has detailed in the Quran, or what the Prophet ﷺ clarified for us.
في سنته وخير الهدى هدى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وهذا ليس من هداه.
And the best guidance is the guidance of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this is not from his guidance. The last one, and I've already been a long time, but translating takes a little bit. I probably should not have so many comments. Hopefully, but to take $100,000 from them, from others, for 7 lectures. I live in a country when Mashai give 50 lectures for free, 5,000 lectures for free, and they're going to give 7 lectures and gain $100,000 plus dollars. I don't care if they reduce the money. They reduced the money after they were criticized. They reduced it and said, we'll pay this much for this many people. They reduced it after they were criticized, right? Getting a little something's better than nothing. Anyway, my brother Abu Sa'ad Muhammad ibn Sa'ad al-Shabban, Allah yahfadhahu, he was able to ask Sheikh Saleh Suhaimi, the Mufti of Medina, our Sheikh, Allah yahfadhahu, the question that we asked. He gave this question to his son Khalid. Khalid asked his father for us, and his father recorded this, and here we are, inshallah ta'ala, and we will close with this bi'idhnillah. Sheikh Saleh Suhaimi, when we was asked about this Badr club, he says,
الحمد لله وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله ومن اهتدى بهداه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهداه. أما بعد.
After praising Allah and sending salat and salam upon the Prophet and the companions and those who follow in their footsteps, to proceed.
هذا السؤال يعني جوابه لا يحتاج إلى طول كلام.
He says this question, its answer does not require long speech.
مبني على بدع من بدايته إلى نهايته.
He said it's built upon.
To just complete real quick the answer of Sheikh Saleh Suhaimi, who it was cut off due to bad internet connection here. And then inshallah ta'ala, we will sew the two videos together and make it one. Give me 1 second just to make sure the sound is coming through. We're going to try to, okay. The sound is coming through, alhamdulillah. The Sheikh will start over again. I don't think it's necessary to read the question, but we can, just in case someone sees this video by itself. Give me 1 second, I apologize here. Okay, here's the question. Question was, Ahsan Allah, Ilaikum, Wabarakallahu Feikum. May Allah be good to you or be good to you and bless you. Some of the brothers started a club called the Badr Club. They only accept 313 people, in agreement with the number of the Sahaba who participated in the major battle of Badr. The registration is only open for 313 hours, and the cost or the registration fees are 313 British pounds. And the one who does register, for those 313 who do so in time, will be allowed into 7 lectures. Each lecture is called an operation, like a military operation, and it will be explained. The one who is allowed to participate will also be given access to a private group of members where they can talk and share and do better with each other, whatever connected to that club. The titles of the 7 lectures or operations were given as follows. The first of them is an introduction to the club. The second of them is the connection with Allah. The third of them is about money, how our operation connection with Allah. Then third one is operation 6 figures, how to get 430,000 Saudi riyal a year or 100,000 pounds a year, right? How to make your salary like that. The fourth one was an operation regarded to, and I don't remember how they had them in English, related to Operation Second Wife. That's what it was. How to get a second wife. The fifth one was an operation related to health and fitness, physical health. The sixth one was related to mental health, how to become someone who has confidence and like this, maybe how to be a better speaker or something like that, right? Better public presenter. The seventh and the last lecture was advice for what to do after this, where to go forward. Knowing, the question continues, knowing that those who established or built this club are some of the callers who made hijrah from the west to the Gulf area. when they opened up the registration, they made a video encouraging the youth to join their club. And in the club, they start off in the masjid, then they go to the gym, and then they go to work. And if their work is a Lamborghini or something like that in the background, and then at nighttime they gather in the restaurant and eat from the best of food. And their slogan on their page is the ayat from Surah Al-Imran, وَلَقَدْ نَصَرَكُمُ اللَّهُ بِبَدْرٍ وَأَنْتُمْ أَذِلَّةٌ. Indeed, Allah helped you or gave you victory when you were the small or lower group. The question is, هل يجوز إنشاء النادي? Is it permissible to establish a club with this name and this slogan? And do you advise us to register and join it? Benefit us, may Allah bless you. The Sheikh, you said,
الحمد لله وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله ومن اهتدى بهداه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى. أما بعد، هذا السؤال يعني جوابه لا يحتاج إلى طول كلام.
After praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sending salat and salam upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said this question does not require a long speech.
مبني على بدع من بدايته إلى نهايته.
It's built upon innovations from its beginning to its end.
فتحديد الأعداد هذه مسلك يسلكه بعض الجهلة وبعض المبتدعة.
The limitation of these names and pointing out and defining the numbers, not names, but numbers, 313 for the people of Badr, then this is something done by the ignorant people and the innovators.
تحديد ب 13 أو ب 113 أو 313 ونحو ذلك، هذه كلها من أعمال المبتدعة.
Defining something 313 or whatever it is, all of this is from the actions of the innovators.
ولا يجوز الالتحاق بهذا النادي بحال من الأحوال.
And it's not permissible or it's not allowed to join this club under any circumstance.
وأرى أن الالتحاق به من باب التعاون على الإثم والعدوان، وقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى: وتعاونوا على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان.
And I see, the Sheikh says, and I see that cooperating and joining this group is from cooperating on sin and transgression. And Allah Azza wa Jal says what means cooperate upon righteousness and piety and do not cooperate upon sin and transgression.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: من أحدث في أمرنا هذا ما ليس منه فهو رد.
And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever innovates something in this affair of ours that is not from it, it is rejected.
هذا العمل باطل وتنظيم الأعداد هذه بدعة.
He says this is action is false. It's falsehood, and organizing upon these numbers is an innovation.
خطيرة جدا تجر إلى ما هو أعظم. هذا مثل
very dangerous, and it will lead and push you towards that which is even more dangerous than it, greater in danger than it.
مثل الذين يؤصلون على عدد 19 أو عدد 13، عدد 19 أو عدد 13 أو عدد سور القرآن أو عدد سور آيات القرآن أو نحو.
So the Sheikh says people build things like based on something that they read in the Quran or Hadith, like 16 or 19 or 13, or the number of the surahs in the Quran or the number of the ayat in the Quran. They build foundations upon these numbers.
وذلك هذا كله، هذه الأعداد والالتزام هذه الأعداد لا شك أنه من الأعمال البدعية المنكرة.
He said no doubt that establishing things based upon these numbers is an innovation, and it is an evil which should be warned against.
يضاف إلى هذا الترفه الموجود في آخر المحاضرات التي يقومون بها.
And adding to that, this luxury that is shown in the video to those who, encouraging people to join it.
هذا الترفه ترفه لا يليق. نحن لا نحرمه أن يركب الإنسان سيارة لامبورغيني أو غيرها.
So this luxury and stuff like this, which is shown, then it's not befitting. We don't make it haram. Someone can drive a Lamborghini or other than that, no problem.
أو غيرها، لكن العرض بهذه الطريقة وكمان الإنسان كان فيحصل على المال ونحو ذلك.
But to display this and to say, like, the person who joins is going to be able to get this type of money, achieve this type of status.
ما الطريقة التي يحصل بها على مبلغ كي
This is how can you get this type of to this level? How can you reach this certain amount of money?
وكيت. هذا كله من المؤامرات ومن الدعاوى الفارغة.
All of this is from the muqamarat. He says gambling, meaning that you're paying a certain amount of money, hoping to make more money. You don't know if you're going to get that or not. And then this is from the false claims.
ومن إشغال الناس بما لا ينفع.
And busying the people with that which does not benefit them.
والرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول اللهم إني أعوذ بك من علم لا ينفع ومن قلب اللهم إني أعوذ بك من علم لا ينفع ومن قلب لا يخشع ومن دعوة لا يستجاب له.
He said the Prophet ﷺ used to make the dua, "Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from evil which does not benefit, from a heart which is not fearful, and from knowledge which does not benefit, a heart which is not fearful, and from a dua or a supplication which is not answered."
قول إنه لا يحتاج إلى طول كلام، يكفي أن الأعمال هذه أعمال بدعية.
Like we said, it doesn't take a lot of speech. You don't need a lot to refute this. It's enough to know that these actions are innovations.
ولا تصح ولا يجوز الانتماء إليها ولا المشاركة فيها.
It's not. They're not correct. They're not sahih. They're not correct. And it's not permissible to join them or participate with them.
ولا التسجيل فيها بحال من الأحوال وأنا أخشى أن
and by no means, in no situation should a person register with them. And I fear that
راجعة إلى أحد أمرين.
I fear that it's going back to one or two matters. This organization is going back to one or two possibilities.
إما إلى تخطيط من بعض المبتدعة ولا سيما الحزبيين.
Either it's from the plans of some of the innovators, especially those who have, blind partisanship to their groups and parties.
وإما إلى تخطيط من أعداء الإسلام
or it's from the plans of the enemies of Islam.
التمسك بهذه الخرافات والبعد عن الأحكام العقيدة الصحيحة والأحكام الشرعية المؤصلة من كتاب الله عز وجل.
Which would get the people to build something from the enemies of Islam, which would try to get them far from the authentic creed and the rulings of the religion, which is built upon the book and the Sunnah.
وسنة رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. وعلى المسلمين أن يرجعوا إلى العلماء الربانيين الذين ينفون عن كتاب الله عز وجل تحريف الغالين وانتحال المبطلين وتأويل الجاهلين.
He says, and it's upon the Muslims to return to the scholars, those who refute. It escapes me right now. The tahweel, the changing of the innovators and the ignorant people and those who seek to destroy Islam in general. Those they should return to the scholars, those people who defend the religion and push away all of this from it.
الخلاصة أن هذا عمل منكر لا يجوز الانخراط فيه.
The summary is this action is evil and it's not permissible to cooperate or join with them.
وفقكم الله وسدد خطاكم.
May Allah grant you success and rectify your mistakes.
وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أخوكم صالح ابن سعد السحيمي.
And then he gives salam upon the Prophet and he tells you who it is speaking for sure. Your brother, our Sheikh, our father, Allah yahfadhahu wa yarhamahu, Sheikh Salih ibn Sa'ad al-Suhaimi. Anyway, this is what we wanted to show. This is what we wanted to conclude, but the last stream had broke up. We apologize for that. We will take these two videos and put them together so that whoever wants to benefit and share, please share this so that it gets, so that the people can be careful and be warned against falling into these same mistakes, whether it be someone who wants to organize something similar and it's a quick get rich quick scheme, or someone who thinks that, you know, there's someone who's a sincere well-wisher for him and he's going to teach him something, and he falls into these mistakes. With this, as we conclude with what we said earlier, we do not know these brothers. We don't have any animosity towards them. However, to take and gather $100,000 and claim that you're not doing it for the dawah, this isn't a dawah program, yet you use the Sahaba as your reason for the number of people, and you use the Battle of Badr, and you use an ayat from the Quran to justify and encourage people to do what you're doing, as well as all of the other things that the Mashayikh have mentioned inside of these fatwa, then inshallah ta'ala, you will not do this. You will not organize anything, and you will not fall into those who are organizing similar evil actions. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.